Court upholds $52 million defamation judgment against Guyanese critic. The High Court has ruled in favor of businessmen Nazar and Azruddin Mohammed, upholding a $52 million defamation judgment against social media commentator Mikhail Rodriguez, widely known as Guyanese critic. The decision was delivered on Monday by Justice Nigel Niles, who also reaffirmed an injunction prohibiting Rodriguez and his media entity, They Break News Incorporated, from making any further defamatory statements against the Mohammeds. Rodriguez had sought to overturn both the financial judgment and the injunction. However, the court dismissed his applications. In addition to upholding the ruling, Justice Niles ordered Rodriguez to pay $75,000 in costs to each of the Mohammeds for his unsuccessful appeal. The judge noted that Rodriguez and his company provided woefully inadequate explanations in their attempt to set aside the original judgment, failing to meet the legal standards necessary for reconsideration. The default judgment, initially issued in July 2024, required Rodriguez to compensate the Mohammeds for defamation, totaling $52 million. The court also imposed multiple injunctions to prevent Rodriguez and They Break News Incorporated from making additional defamatory claims against the businessmen. The case originated from a series of statements made by Rodriguez on his social media platform in February and March 2024. The Mohammeds successfully argued that these statements were false, damaging, and deliberately intended to tarnish their reputations. Winston Jordan, slapped with another misconduct charge, granted $150,000 bail. Newsroom. Former Minister of Finance, Winston Jordan, appeared before the Georgetown Magistrates Court on Monday, where he faced another misconduct charge related to the sale of 5 acres of land at Gedverwagding and Sparendam, East Coast Demerara, in 2020. The charge alleges that Jordan willfully misconduct himself by acting recklessly when he signed Vesting Order No. 69 of 2020. It is claimed that the order vested over 5 acres of land valued at $150 million for just $2.4 million, representing a sale price grossly undervalued to the extent of constituting an abuse of public trust and lacking reasonable cause or justification. The offense occurred between February 25, 2020, and June 11, 2020, while Jordan was serving as the finance minister. Jordan was not required to plead to the charge, which was read to him by Magistrate Fabio Azor. He was represented by attorneys Roysdale Ford and Dawn Cush. Cush informed the court that Jordan is a man of good character, and noted that he is facing a similar charge that had previously been dismissed. She argued that pursuing this case would be an absolute waste of judicial time. The prosecution did not object to bail but requested that, if granted, it be set at a substantial amount due to the significant cash involved. After considering both sides, the magistrate granted bail in the sum of $150,000, and the case was adjourned to April 23. This is not Jordan's first court appearance. In recent years, he has faced various charges, including a similar offense involving the sale of the state's largest wharf facilities located at Kingston, Georgetown, to businessman Brian Tiwari, owner of BK Inc. Father seeks answers after son's body found with head smashed on roadside. Newsroom. Vishwadio Mangru, 57, of Mibikuri South, Blackbush Polder, Corentyne Burbis, is urging police to thoroughly investigate the circumstances surrounding his son's tragic death. In the early hours of Sunday, Tameshwar Mangru, 24, also known as Brian, was discovered dead with severe head injuries on the less beholden public road. Tameshwar worked in construction. Vishwadio explained to Newsroom that the police contacted him to identify his son's body at Ramu's funeral home, which he did. He recounted that on Saturday, Tameshwar had left for work and returned home for lunch around noon before heading back to his job. When Tameshwar did not return home that evening, Vishwadio found it unusual. Now, he is appealing to the police for a comprehensive investigation to hold those responsible for his son's death accountable. I want them to catch whoever did this to my son because I love him. I don't know how I am going to stand and witness my son's funeral, he revealed, visibly distressed. The grieving father added, "That's cruel to my son. It's really cruel. No head, no eyes, nothing. How are you going to witness your son like that? I cared for him and raised him all this time." Region 6 Police Commander Shivprasad Bacchus confirmed that an investigation is ongoing. Bandits cut through roof to rob WBD supermarket. Qatar News. In the early hours of Friday, 5 masked bandits reportedly cut their way through the roof of Nadira's supermarket, located at 1st Street, Potentia, West Bank Demerara, WBD, to carry out a robbery. The store owner, popularly known as Uncle Vic, is offering a reward for any information leading to the arrest of the criminals who made off with jewelry and a substantial amount of cash. Anyone with information regarding this case is urged to contact the nearest police station in the Region 3 district or call the following telephone numbers: 6910-678 or 6235-425. Uncle Vic told Qatar News that he resides upstairs while the supermarket is located on the ground floor of the 2-story property. He was not present during the invasion, but his son was there at the time. The son recalled that the robbery occurred between 2 a.m. and 3 a.m. on Friday. Outnumbered and fearing for his life, he felt there was little he could do to intervene. After filling bags with their loot, the bandits exited through the back door of the property. Everyone is expressing outrage at this crime, Uncle Vic noted. Remarkably, the perpetrators managed to evade capture on nearby security cameras. According to the businessman, the investigators are diligently working to identify and apprehend the bandits, but his family would greatly appreciate any assistance in quickly locating them before they strike again. Bandits push down guard, rob Chinese nationals of over $1 million in cash and goods. Qatar News. 2 Chinese nationals were robbed of over $1 million by 2 masked and armed men on Saturday evening at their supermarket located in Great Diamond, East Bank Demerara. The incident occurred around 9:30 p.m. at Lot 525, Section 10, Block X, Great Diamond. The victims have been identified as Qing EQ and Xian Ching Xie, both sharing the same address. An estimated $1,100,000 in cash, an iPhone 12 Pro Max valued at $124,000, and $200,000 worth of phone cards were stolen. According to police reports, the victims were at the supermarket counter when the robbery took place. The victims were at the counter when the 2 perpetrators entered the supermarket, one dressed in blue denim jeans, orange boots, a black hoodie, and a black hat, while the other wore short green pants and a black hoodie, police stated. One of the armed bandits pointed a silver gun at the security guard's head, pushed him to the floor, and ordered him to lie face down. The suspects then forced the 2 Chinese nationals to do the same before stealing the aforementioned items from the cash registers. The suspects fled the scene on foot in a northern direction. Investigations revealed that there are CCTV cameras inside the supermarket. Some footage has been reviewed, however, the scene has not yet been processed, and statements from the victims have not yet been taken, according to police. Captain and crew members caught stealing prawns from Pritapal Singh vessel. Newsroom. A captain and 4 crew members were apprehended for stealing 5 baskets of prawns, valued at approximately $2 million, while operating a vessel owned by Pritapal Singh Investments Incorporated at sea. The men departed Georgetown on March 6 and returned on March 15. The theft occurred on March 14 and was captured on surveillance cameras installed on the vessel. According to information gathered by the newsroom, the theft was discovered when the footage was reviewed upon the vessel's return, as per company protocol. The video showed the men placing baskets filled with prawns from their catch into the ice hole and then into the cabin. They were also seen passing the baskets overboard, presumably to a small boat. An official from Pritapal Singh Investments informed the newsroom that the company's safety coordinator took a statement from the captain, who reportedly confessed to stealing and selling the prawns. The official noted that an attempt was made to file a report at the Providence police station. However, they were advised that the report needed to be filed closer to the location of the incident. The official emphasized that incidents like this put considerable strain on the company's business operations. Firearm recovered by police. In the vicinity of Macaw Lane, South Ruimveldt. Officials from the anti-terrorism unit, guided by a cadet officer, recovered a firearm without ammunition on Sunday, March 30, 2025. This occurred after a motorcyclist and his passenger abandoned the weapon while fleeing in the vicinity of Macaw Lane, South Ruimveldt, Georgetown. At approximately 5 a.m., the unit was conducting a mobile patrol in the South Ruimveldt area when they observed two males on a motorcycle behaving suspiciously. Upon attempting to intercept the individuals, they abandoned the motorcycle and escaped into a nearby alleyway. Following their escape, the area was searched, and one officer discovered a .38 Taurus revolver without ammunition in the alley. The motorcycle, bearing registration number CP152, was also retrieved. Documentation found on the motorcycle identified its owner as a male resident of Norton Street, Lodge. Both the firearm and motorcycle were taken to the East Law Penitence Police Station, where the firearm underwent fingerprint analysis, which yielded no results. The weapon was photographed, marked, placed in an evidence bag, and secured at the station to be sent to the ballistics section for further analysis. Attempts to locate the motorcycle's owner at the given address were unsuccessful, and further investigations are ongoing. AFC seeks presidential candidate and 40% representation at all levels of government. Newsroom: The Alliance for Change, AFC, has outlined its conditions for a potential coalition with the A Partnership for National Unity, APNU, following a special meeting of its National Executive Committee on Sunday. The AFC is reaffirming its earlier decision to have its leader, Nigel Hughes, serve as the presidential candidate. Below is the full release from the Alliance for Change. The National Executive Committee, NEC, of the Alliance for Change held a special meeting today, March 30, 2025, to approve conditions for a coalition with the APNU. The meeting was specifically convened to address the status of ongoing discussions between the APNU and the AFC regarding the formation of a coalition for the upcoming 2025 general and regional elections. Lead negotiator for the AFC, Alston Stewart, provided a comprehensive report on the progress made by both teams and the current status of talks. The meeting was chaired by party leader Nigel Hughes and was attended by key members, including co-founders Kemraj Ramjatan and Raphael Trotman. After more than 4 hours of robust and candid discussions, the following resolutions were passed. The AFC will accept a 60-40 split at all levels of government, with 60% of positions allocated to representatives of the APNU. The party that nominates the presidential candidate will not be permitted to nominate or occupy the position of leader of the list. In accordance with the earlier unanimous decision of the NEC in January of this year, party leader Nigel Hughes shall be the AFC's presidential candidate. The meeting acknowledged the significant work accomplished by the negotiating team and expressed appreciation for their efforts. The team was further mandated to communicate its resolutions to the APNU negotiating team. Sophia man critical after stabbing himself to meet his maker. 38-year-old Earl Benjamin is currently hospitalized with a self-inflicted stab wound to his abdomen sustained on Sunday. The incident took place in C. Field, Sophia. According to a statement from police headquarters, reports indicate that Benjamin, who was allegedly under the influence of alcohol, expressed a desire to meet his maker before stabbing himself. He was subsequently transported to the Georgetown Public Hospital, where his condition is reported to be critical. A police investigation is ongoing. Roger Callender elected to lead Guyana Bodybuilding and Fitness Federation. A new era has begun for the Guyana Bodybuilding and Fitness Federation, GBBFF, as Roger Callender emerged victorious in a contested presidential election during the Federation's annual general meeting, AGM, held at Olympic House, Liliendal, on March 30th. Callender, an active competitor and trainer, received 20 votes, defeating Imtiaz Sattar, who garnered 4 votes. His victory marks the end of Kievan Bess's tenure, as the outgoing president chose not to seek re-election. The presidential race was the only contested position at the AGM, with all other roles filled unopposed. Seal Marks was elected vice president, Ramelton Siland became the general secretary, Shimina Paraun was named treasurer, Imtiaz Sattar assumed the role of assistant secretary-treasurer, Tariq Dakel took on the position of organizing secretary, and Bess transitioned to executive director. The committee members elected include Kerwin Clark, Yusuf Khan, Anthony McLean, Errol Tekaram, Darius Ramsamy, Dwayne Mars, and Omar Sattar. The newly elected executive will serve a 24-month term. It is noteworthy that the previous executive's term, led by Kievan Bess, was extended by 12 months to ensure continuity during Guyana's hosting of the Central American and Caribbean (CAC) Championships. Following the elections, Vich Sukram was awarded honorary life membership of the GBBFF in recognition of his significant contributions to the sport. The AGM also included the acceptance of financial reports from 2022 to 2024, including those related to the successful CAC Championships held in Guyana in 2024. Attorney-at-law Olivia Bess served as the returning officer. "Right now I'm asking God to give me the strength to get through this," says mother of Charlestown boy who died after gunshot to the head. Guyana News. Keisha Gustave, the grieving mother of 7-year-old Jeremiah Gustave, who succumbed to a gunshot wound on Saturday evening, is calling for justice for her son and for the suspects involved in his tragic death to face the full extent of the law. "Right now I'm asking God to give me the strength to get through this," Keisha lamented as she remembered happier times with her son. After 8 months of fighting for his life, Jeremiah passed away around 6:30 p.m. at their home on Charles Street, Charlestown, Georgetown. He was shot in the head on July 9, 2024, in front of his home. Keisha, devastated by the suffering her son endured, is pleading for justice, stating that her son's life was taken by stray bullets fired by 2 men who showed no regard for those around them. Reports indicate that Jeremiah, a student at Smith's Memorial Primary School, was sitting at his mother's food stall when an altercation escalated into the shooting. He was quickly transported to Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation, GPHC, where he underwent multiple surgeries. Since his discharge, Jeremiah has been in and out of the hospital, showing slow signs of recovery. The main suspect in the case, Odell Garnett, also known as Crab, is currently in prison on remand as the court trial continues. Garnett was arrested in July and charged with attempted murder. Another suspect, Marlon Marcus, commonly known as Mice Man, was initially charged as well, but his case was withdrawn in October by the Director of Public Prosecutions, DPP. Marcus had confessed to shooting Jeremiah during interrogation. In an interview with Guyana News on Sunday, Keisha expressed her frustration, stating, "They have to face some penalty because my son didn't live a life. He didn't get in anyone's way. What can they possibly say to me? I don't even know how to process this." Keisha voiced her dissatisfaction with the legal developments regarding Marcus' case. "The legal authorities need to take action. Y'all, DPP, withdrew this matter when my son was alive. Now that he has passed away, you can't come and tell me you lack evidence," she said. "I don't want to hear anyone come and tell me, sorry. Sorry can't bring back my son. They have to feel the consequences. I don't want anyone, family members of the suspects, bringing money to give me," she added, her voice filled with grief. Reflecting on the moment she learned of Jeremiah's death, Keisha recounted that she had just celebrated her birthday the previous Sunday and was preparing for an outing when Jeremiah's father called, saying their son was not breathing. "I saw his father calling me, saying that Jerry wasn't breathing and that he was at the hospital. 2 minutes later, he called me back to tell me that Jerry had passed away," Keisha shared. She recalled her last conversation with her son, emphasizing her love for him. "On Friday night, I went to church, and before I left during the day, I told him, 'I love you, and I will look after you and buy anything for you,'" she said, holding back tears. Keisha also revealed that Jeremiah had recently faced health issues, requiring him to be briefly admitted to GPHC. Around March 22, 2025, she noticed that his stomach and hands were swollen, and he appeared uncomfortable. They checked the area where he was being fed and noticed green fluids coming from his body. When the father opened the feeding site, he saw green fluid coming out, looking like green seasoning, she explained. Jeremiah was rushed to the hospital, where he underwent tests and an ultrasound. Upon arrival at the hospital, more of the green fluid came out, about 600 milliliters. They began running tests and said it was dengue, but they discharged him, she said. Keisha expressed concern that the doctors may not have fully revealed the extent of his condition. If they did a blood test and ultrasound, they should have detected everything happening to him, yet they only stated that he had dengue, she remarked. Despite the heartbreaking circumstances, Keisha held on to hope for Jeremiah's recovery and believed he would return to the vibrant, joyful child he once was. Honestly, I had faith that Jerry would come through this and be back to how he was. I never thought negatively about this. I always prayed for the best for him. But right now, I'm asking God to give me the strength to get through this, she said. Norton urges PNC members to close ranks and end divisions ahead of national elections. By news source Guyana, Aubrey Norton, the leader of the People's National Congress Reform, PNC/R, has called on party members to unite and work diligently to ensure the party's success in this year's general and regional elections. While acknowledging existing divisions within the party, Norton emphasized that such divisions cannot persist in light of the impending elections. During his address at the party's General Council meeting over the weekend, he stressed the importance of organizational discipline at all levels, from grassroots to leadership. Comrades, no movement, no matter how noble its mission, can prevail without unity. Unity is the cornerstone of our strength, the cement that binds our vision to our actions, and the lifeblood of our survival as a political force. Our unity must demand that we refrain from attacking one another. We must listen to each other and appreciate our differences, stated Norton. He encouraged party members to support one another and expressed gratitude to past leaders for establishing a foundation for rallying the party during challenging times. Norton pledged to work tirelessly to bring the party together. In this moment of great national crisis and historic opportunity, we cannot afford fractures within our ranks. We must be one party with one purpose, unified in action. Today, I extend not just a welcome but a call to all members, comrades, and believers in justice. There is room in the People's National Congress for you, Norton declared. He made it clear that while he extends an olive branch to everyone within and outside the party, he will not tolerate ongoing disputes over personalities. Let me be clear, while all are welcome to contribute, none will be allowed to disrupt our efforts. We did not inherit this party by chance. It was built through blood, sweat, sacrifice, and struggle. We cannot allow narrow ambitions, hidden envy, or political mischief to derail the mission that so many have worked hard to uphold, Norton cautioned. According to the PNC/R leader, loyalty should reside with the party, its principles, and the people of Guyana, rather than with individual positions or personalities.